Welcome to Caricomp Insider, where high-tech facial recognition meets real-world intelligence.
One in every 25 digital identity checks last year got flagged as fraud. That's not a phone scam or a phishing email. That's someone trying to prove they're a real person to a government system and failing the test because they weren't who they claimed. So why does that matter to you? Because the way you prove you exist is moving online. In Morocco, renewing your national ID used to mean paper forms and trips to a registration center. Now the government's putting that whole process onto a digital platform, tied to mobile wallets and national payment systems. It's faster, it's easier, and it quietly turns your identity into something that looks a lot like an online account. The question for this episode is simple. When your ID becomes a login, what happens if someone else logs in as you? Let's start with what Morocco actually traded away. The old paper system was slow. People sometimes had to show up more than once just to renew a card. The online version erases that friction. But it also erases something else. The human standing at the counter, looking at your face, checking your documents. That checkpoint is gone now. The verification is digital all the way down. And Morocco didn't make this jump just for convenience. According to reporting from Biometric Update, the country sped up its national digital ID rollout after cyber attacks claimed by an Algerian hacker group. So the push wasn't only about saving citizens a trip, it was about security pressure. That's worth sitting with. The same systems built to be safer are the ones under active attack. Now widen the lens. Morocco isn't an outlier. The European Union is rolling out its own digital identity wallet, with first real versions expected by the middle of next year. That's becoming the blueprint. And researchers at Regula Forensics project that by 2027, roughly a third of all countries will build what they call digital nation-state ecosystems, closed systems where a country's data, its national ID, and its own AI models all live behind one border. Why should that land for you? Because those walled-off systems don't talk to each other. If your identity lives inside one country's database and you need to prove who you are somewhere else, the systems can't easily check. That gap is exactly where impersonation slips through. Stolen or fake credentials don't get tested one at a time anymore. They get presented at scale. That's the part academic researchers have flagged for years. When identity goes digital and centralized, a single compromised account doesn't just expose one person. It opens a door that bad actors can walk through again and again. For investigators, that rewrites the job. Verifying someone is really who their ID says, across borders, against synthetic identities, becomes a specialized skill. For the rest of us, it means the account that proves you're you is now worth stealing. Here's the flip most people miss. Digital identity isn't the villain here. Done right, a government-backed digital credential is cryptographically strong, harder to fake than any paper card ever was. The danger was never the digital part. It's the gap between a system that's secure on paper and one that's secure in practice, and the human mistakes that live in that gap. So let's bring it home. Governments are turning your ID into an online account because it's faster and, after attacks, safer. But last year, 1 in 25 identity checks came back fraudulent, and as countries wall off their systems, proving you're really you gets harder, not easier. The strength of digital ID depends entirely on how carefully it's built. Whether you renew a passport or just unlock your phone, your identity is becoming a thing someone else might try to log into. The full story's in the description if you want the deep dive.
Now you know something most people in this industry don't. Use it. And when you're ready to put it to work, Caracomp.com. We'll see you tomorrow.